Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. So we were discussing how to cultivate love of God. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, singing the names and glories of God, Satsanga, the holy company, and the third is solitude. Now and then, whenever you possible, go into solitude. This aspect also we have seen how in solitude we face ourselves. All through the life we will be facing the world and looking at the world. And we never thought of nor had an occasion to turn the torch to ourselves and see within. So now, for the first time, you are looking into yourself in solitude and how the self introspection generates love of God. We saw how it detaches you from the world. We saw how Viveka awakens by the grace of Divine Mother, the nature. That also we saw. Now, the various stages of our little by little expanding from few seconds of solitude every hour or every half an hour, few seconds, then expanding yourself into a deeper and deeper, longer periods of solitude. And when the ripe time comes, then you'll be able to enter into superconscious state. For entering into superconscious state, there is samadhi practice. You have to be in total solitude in your own state. But we cannot enter so easily because we are not accustomed to inward journey. To turn into inward journey, three things that are binding us from the world, our existence, we cannot turn inward also so easily because we are attached to the world, we are attached to the body, we are attached to the ego. Three things bind us to the external awareness. We can't, sitting for meditation, just like we sleep, one few seconds, I will forget the world. Within another few seconds, I forget the body also. How easily I detach in sleep. I can't detach. I can't even turn inward and start diving within. The inward journey is as if blocked. I cannot even peep in. So, how do we happen to have from making it turn inward and dive within? It is possible only in solitude. For that, we have to detach ourselves from the external world. We keep so many things, property, this, that. If a mobile or a ring is lost, you can see the pain on the face. Oh, I've lost something. Not because I was irresponsible or I have neglected. That kind of repentance is different. I lost it is different. I feel the loss, separation from me, because I was attached to it. Oh, I could not do my duty. While traveling in ship, Swamiji, Vivekananda, and one of the direct disciples will be traveling in the ship, and another direct disciple of Swamiji has kept the watch on the table, his table in the cabin, and Swamiji comes, he is not there, Swamiji comes and sees his watch is there. Swamiji says, when he comes, he tells, why have you kept the watch here outside? Somebody takes it off and goes away. We can't blame anybody. we become irresponsible for ourselves. And you are tempting others to put a hand and take it away. So this, it is not the loss of the, after a sannyasi, a watch is lost, it is never mine. I don't keep it as mine at all. Everything, whatever I possess, belongs to the Lord. If it is lost, it doesn't pain me as it pains for a householder. So it may be, I may not be losing something. Oh, somebody else is using instead of me. Maybe he needs more than me. All right. But I was irresponsible for keeping it there. That pains. Oh, I should have taken care. After all, it's God's, but it was in my custody. It was my duty to protect it. The Lord's property, I cannot misuse or neglect its protection and saving. So this one is all right. Otherwise, I don't keep anything. I have all the duties, responsibilities. I am a trustee, not a owner. When I become a owner, it pains me. When I become trustee, I have all the more responsibility to safeguard it properly because it is not mine, it is in my custody. I am answerable tomorrow. See, when I say it's all God's, I am answerable to God. So that kind of I cannot shirk off my responsibility. There we see we come into the right understanding. So in our sannyasa life, we take the three vows: vow of poverty, vow of chastity, and vow of service and obedience. So through vow of poverty, I don't keep anything as mine. Vow of chastity, I am not attached to the body. I don't use my body for any kind of enjoyment, even taking food. When tasty food comes, taste I offer to God, food it goes for the body. I am only an agent. So this kind of total detachment from the bodily existence, ego in implicit obedience. They need not explain, they need not express what they intend. Suppose my guru is there, my elders are there. What do they expect from me? I have to, it is implicit. Explicit is they will tell, do this, do that. But they have certain expectations. So that fulfilling, implicit obedience, I have to be obedient, be obedient, they need not tell me. So there we see ego is suppressed. And what doesn't suit me, what I dislike, they force it upon us. Do that. I don't want to mix with people. Because it is ego which is refusing to mix with people, not the necessity. When necessity comes, the nature provides such a beautiful atmosphere. You are in perfect harmony with everything. There is no likes and dislikes. So, there we see we are free from the ego and serving others. Before the sannyasa, the last thing they ask is, do you accept yourself to be servant of this world? Can you serve everyone being their servant? It's very difficult to be a servant of somebody and to serve them according to their needs is why to completely give up my ego and then serve. So here we see in householder's life, he keeps everything as belonging to God. We disown it. Oh, I don't keep anything as mine. I don't own it all. I don't keep also. Whatever is there belongs to the institution or the organization. I am a trustee taking care of it. It was never belonging to me, never it will. In householders, he is using it, he is possessing it. He feels he is the owner. Then he has to place it at the feet of God. Lord, all this belongs to you. my property, my children, my all the name, fame, whatever I have, it is yours. I don't claim. Anybody praises, immediately I remember God. God is praising you. Please accept it. Somebody blames God. Somebody is blaming you. Pardon them. Bless them. So, like this, whatever comes in, I dedicate it to God in householder's life. And whatever is my duty, somebody is scolding, I need not keep quiet. I as a duty, but with inside, it should not affect my peace. It should not affect my inner joy. I scold someone, open my eyes to the maximum and scold. Inside I am calm. I love that person. But expressing for the story to move on, for the ball to keep rolling. So here we see in the householder's life, it takes an entirely different picture. Bodily, this one, he never goes against dharma. The all legitimate enjoyments, including food, moving about, all the legitimate enjoyments are permitted. He should not go against dharma. Total freedom. We see if you follow the dharma, dharma upholds you from the fall. It becomes easy for you to climb up. Otherwise, each time adharma means each time you will be slipping down, slipping down, slipping down. Very difficult to climb. Every step takes many lives sometimes to climb to a higher level of consciousness. So here, just to follow the dharma, dharma will be protecting you. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. It goes on. It will be smoothly, life will be going without any impacts from the outside. Nature need not warn you. Nature need not awaken you by giving pain and suffering. So, the first thing is in the path of bodily existence, the renunciation part, the body, and then the inner ego. I have to suppress the ego. Possessions I offer in the householder's life, I take it as belonging to God. Bodily, I go, every step I go according to dharma. So I am not bound. Duties and dharmic living do not bind the soul. It doesn't become karma. When I do anything out of raga, dvesha, attachments and aversions, then it becomes karma. Dharma never becomes dharmic activity. If you live according to dharma, anything you do will not bind you. And Sri Krishna says 3 types of thing that you do for God, yajna, dana you do for other humans, and tapa, what you do for yourself. These 3, yajna, dana, tapa, karma, these 3 you should not give up any time. These 3 will be elevating you. It is a karma of different type, something like sadhana that elevates you. And all other things, what you do, earning, enjoying, bringing up children, all this when it is according to dharma, it never becomes karma. You need not suffer or anything. Suppose a child is making mistake, if you beat the child, it will not become karma. To correct it, not because it is giving me pain, it is for his sake when you do. It is my dharma to bring him up. So when it is done, then it will not become karma. Karma is very difficult to understand this theory, but we need it. So, duties of life, if you don't do it, becomes karma. If you do, it will not become karma. It is called pratyavaya. Suppose Sandhya Vandana. If after the initiating into the life of the brahmachari in the brahminical lives, After that, you are supposed to do Sandhya Vandana. If you do Sandhya Vandana, there is no fruit. If you don't do, there is a demerit. It becomes Papa Karma if you don't do. So, this, or you must climb to another next higher level of pure spiritual life, then love of God, then you are going beyond. Just like 10th you are finished and you are not bound by Sandhya Vandana. So if you don't do what the reaction comes is called Pratyavaya. So Pratyavaya, here we see that it doesn't bind me. My bodily existence, my doing all the duties, living with the family, friends, in the society, in the human level, global level, nothing binds you. You are moving about freely and doing. Everything is according to Dharma. Dharma is cosmic law. Nature wants you to maintain that Dharma because that's the only way for the evolution to begin. So that you should not get sunk, you should not go below the level of humanity. So Dharma protects you, and then the spiritual. These three, the enjoyments of the world, or the bindings of the world, bindings of the body, bindings of ego. Here in the householder's life, ego is again and again consciously offered to God. Self surrender, self accept me as I am, with all my defects, all my imperfections, whatever I am offering at your feet. Please accept me, please accept me. The ego is going on surrender. The ego, the self, is somehow to be destroyed. In each of the paths, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raj Yoga, and Karma Yoga, it takes different shapes. In Karma Yoga, it is self-sacrifice. In Bhakti Yoga, it is self-surrender. In Jnana Yoga, it is self-knowledge. And in Raj Yoga, it is self-control. The self has to be destroyed. So then you see, practice of all these things will slowly, you are free from the world, you are free from the ego, you are free from the bodily attachments. You have offered everything. You have brought the divine into in between. So you are free to turn inward and go within. So here we see. The second thing we must remember is the going in, entering into solitude. The entering into solitude, short solitudes you can somehow manage. Long periods of solitude if you want to go, then you must have cleared certain gross level of imperfections in the world. Then you are ready to enter into solitude. Otherwise, short solitudes alone you will be able to do, and it's better to do. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, a few hours. This is this will become sufficient for us till lot of purification. When you are in the world with all other people, nothing should affect you. Somebody scolds, I have duty to perform, but I should not get affected. Anything temptation, objects of temptation, should not be able to shake you. It may dance before you, but you are inside, calm and quiet, unaffected by the external situations, people telling anything, and bodily conditions. That doesn't disturb you. Everything is calm and quiet inside. Now you are free to go into solitude. Otherwise, before purification of the external at gross level, if you enter into solitude, now ego is there. Desires are there. Anger is there. And with all that I enter into solitude, I don't get angry. I don't feel egoistic. Because the temptations do not come. Because other things are not there. You are alone. When the duality comes, when things come, Years you pass, you are calm and quiet, nothing happens. But then when you come out, again same Ragadvesha comes out. You think you have already won over the senses, Indriya Jaya and all that because of the calmness that you are experiencing and all. Nothing has happened. All has entered into hibernation state, of just lying, because the objects are when you are in the society working with other field, when you are not affected, when objects of temptation dance before you, you are not affected. Then at gross level you have won over the external things. Now when you go you enter into solitude, all the subtle levels start coming out. You can't sit more than 3 4 days. You start feeling homesick. I want to go into the world again. It pulls you because subtle gross was not there, subtle was there working. Sukshma level. Stula level you have crossed over, Sukshma level projects out in ugly faces it will start showing. Then you will pacify them. How subtle it is. I was thinking all memories of the past, this that starts coming out. Like demons, they will be showing faces. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, all are there, not at gross level, but at subtle level. Then you will, in solitude, you use the same viveka, same love of God, same support from the nature, all that you can do, the prayer, oh Lord, still it is there. I remembered an incident, I got angry. I was not getting angry in front of him, be anything it is. Now I see, at subtle level I feel the pain. I may not get angry, but I feel that pain. So that pain within is what makes you understand there is still. The desires never came, but when I see, I am restless. Oh, something lacking, something lacking. Oh, desires are still persisting. Then you start solving at subtle level. Then you'll extend you are really entering into solitude. When you enter into solitude and start solving your subtle problems, the next stage comes that you have finished, nothing bothers you in subtle also. But at causal level, they remain as seed. We will never know when it will germinate. When the proper occasion comes, when everything is favorable, suddenly it jumps out from inside, some desire, and carries you somewhere. So that is still at the bija level. Unless this bija, vasana at the bija level is destroyed, you will not have the vision of God. The proof that you did not have vision of God, in spite of so much of purification, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, at gross level you are crossed over. At subtle level also you are crossed over. In subtle level also kama, krodha are not working in you. But seed is not burnt yet. It can germinate after many, many lives also. So when here comes the practice of meditation and practice of the inward journey, the samadhi. In samadhi sthiti, when you slowly turn inward, because you are free now, again, try to go, enter the inner cell, crossing the annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya kosha, entering vijnanamaya kosha. All this happen in solitude alone. You have to be in solitude. And then even small disturbances should not be there. Usually at this stage, we will not be able to take food from anybody's hand except the mother who has given birth, the guru who has initiated, or your own food. You have to cook your own food. Even the food prepared by any other who loves you also affects you. So in the place of here, when you are sitting for samadhi abhyasa, to turn, crossing the mind, barrier of mind, entering Vijnanamaya Kosha, itself is spiritual awakening. So when you enter into the inner cell, the first thing you experience is light. A light which you have never seen, an illumination which you have never seen. It is not like physical light. Now we have various lights, intellectual light. An idea flashed in my mind. There is no light like this. Something awakening in the intellect. How it is, how that light is, you see. You are not able to solve some problem. Suddenly an idea flashes. I can do like this. That idea flashes. Intellectual light has fallen. The intellectual light, the physical light, how much difference is there, you see. Similar, spiritual light is entirely different, that sustains the whole universe and your existence. You are existing because of that light within. There you enter into, first time you experience what is Chaitanya. Till now you have known only what is Jada. At gross, subtle, and even causal level, we can say, because we are in the Sushupti Avastha, you are in the causal level. Stula level, waking state, dreaming state, subtle level, deep sleep. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. In deep sleep, you are alone. No duality is experienced. See how even in that state, no manifestations of anything. But the seed still remains. And even the causal level, the seed of the Kama Krodha remains. So this has to be, in practicing this one, slowly you turn and go. When you cross first time the barrier of mind, enter within. You enter into a new dimension where there is only Chaitanya. Jada we have experienced from birth. Many lives we have spent in knowing what is this world, interacting with the world, never with the spirit, spiritual existence, never with the divine. We have never seen anything beyond the material world. So, except that I am something which you enter into, makes you enter into deep sleep and come out. That one link is there with the Chaitanya. I am Chaitanya Swarupa. I have two existences, the Chaitanya, the spiritual existence, and bodily existence. Body, mind, senses, all these, till except the love, all these layers of existence belong to Prakriti nature, including mind and intellect belong to nature. Only love alone belongs to the Atman. The crossing the barrier of prajna, the awareness, you enter into this region. First you see the light of Chaitanya. The Chaitanya, the infinite existence beyond my bodily level, beyond this universe, is projecting within me like the ocean entering into the sea and becoming a port or harbor. That expansion is there within. And that we call heart, spiritual heart, where we get the vision of God. There when we enter the first time, when we come back from that state, we are totally independent of bodily existence. First time you have seen your Chaitanic existence, independent of body. You have shifted your awareness from bodily awareness, Deha Bhava, to Jiva Bhava. You are spiritually awakened. The heart has awakened. So this transformation, what you see, the practical experience of the Chaitanya is happens in the Ekanta. So every day you begin with small gaps. Revered Bajnanaji Maharaj, when we were in the just joined the mud, he used to tell us Whenever you get even few minutes, run to the shrine or some solitary place, sit and do japa, call on God with a sincere heart. There the solitude comes into picture. You are amidst, you don't have any work, just instead of talking something, be with one with everyone. Just you are escaping, missing, they will not notice at all. Just go somewhere and just call on God with a pure heart. Calm down. Don't give up all things. Detach yourself from all things. There must be inner solitude also, external solitude also. The inner solitude is most important part. We will see it again. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.